Welcome back to Glowing Card TV. Tonight, a reaction video to The Depths of Despair, new video. And now, your host, Adam. Hey everybody. A little late for the stream, so I figured I'd just make this quick. Haven't bought Cyberpunk yet. It's still like full price. I know you guys are all suggesting stuff, but you're all suggesting like horror games, and I'm like, oh, no, I really want to do that. So, but yeah, I'm on late tonight, so we'll just do a quick another reaction video to Depths. Let me set this up. Pause. So I found out that, things are still happening a little bit on the video, but found out one of the things was there's an add-in I was using, vidIQ. I don't need to have the add-in anymore because I got the subscription cards. I removed that, and that seems to have helped quite a bit. Not as much. It's definitely Streamlabs that's having the issue. So we'll get into it here. You know, I don't think I need to wait. There was no real tech news, so let's dive right into it. I think let's close that. We'll do screen cap, full screen it, and 3, 2, 1. Here we go. We're on the air. Look at this. All right, here we go.
Entered. In the following video, a woman is home alone when something terrifying happens and her fire alarm goes off. On March the 6th,
That was like a
2026.
That was either a lightning strike or a transformer blowing. That was definitely electrical, and it could cause that fire alarm to go off. I don't think that particular thing was paranormal, but I bet there's more to the story.
A deadly tornado struck parts of the US. Unfortunately, strong lightning followed the disaster, and the lightning struck nearby Destiny's house, causing a sudden power outage. Immediately after the lightning strike, the fire alarm activated straight away.
Yep.
Hear the dogs okay?
Immediately after the lightning strike, the fire alarm activated straight away. Confused by what happened, she stands up and quickly goes to check that her dogs are okay. It turns out that only some parts of the house were affected by the power outage. So she calls the firefighters to check the house and see if it is still safe to use the working parts of the house that do have power.
Well, I guess there's no electrician that's 24/7, right? But that's who you want to call, not the fire department. You might want to call the fire department if you think that they're like the lightning actually struck the house and there's if you see some char or something like that, you definitely want to call them to make sure that there's no smoldering or lingering fire within the wall. And they can check that for you. That's what I would call the fire department for. But for the electrical, I would really rather just call some electrician or something to verify things are safe versus fire department. I don't know if these guys really have any knowledge about electricity and what's safe and what's not. So maybe maybe there's one out of all these guys, you think maybe one of them, but I don't know.
After checking the breaker box, they let her know that they should be able to fix the electricity shortly. In the meantime, Destiny decides to review her CCTV footage the moment the lightning struck to see exactly what happened, when she notices something utterly terrifying. Watch closely.
So watch in this right corner. Right when the lightning strikes. There. What is that? What is that? What is that?
During the flash of lightning, for a second, the camera captures a
Wow.
dark figure of someone or something on all fours on the ground right in front of
It's
the door.
weird.
It happens for just a few frames, but it's clear something is there. Whatever it is left Destiny deeply disturbed,
Well,
so she
I mean, it's such a quick moment. I mean, it could be an after image on the lens of the camera because the lightning is so bright. And it flashed across the entire room, and then not only that, but the fire alarm went off with more lights that are also very bright in contrast to the darkness. So this could just be some sort of after effect on the lens, and it only lasts for basically a frame. It's only on there for one single frame. She had sharp eyes to catch it, but I don't know if this is necessarily paranormal. I mean, it does appear almost 3D, so I don't know what to make of this.
decides to check the CCTV footage from when the firefighters were in the house and captures something chilling once again.
No, we were inside. Yeah. Then there was a boom, pound shook.
I'm trying to catch it. I don't know.
Not that I mean, we've got like city blackouts. Neighbors still have power,
I don't know about that.
Destiny had placed some candles around the house for light, and if you look closely at the candle, it suddenly goes out. Even stranger is that a large shadow seems to go by really fast, right as the candle dies out. Not only that, but one of the firefighters seems to notice something strange that causes him to look where the candle is. He claims to have seen a figure sitting on the sofa for a second, so they check the rest of the CCTV and are lost for words.
Hmm.
As the firefighter comes to check the breaker box, you can see how he avoids touching over the sofa and hangs his flashlight pointing down at it, as he is shaken up from earlier when he mentioned seeing a figure on the sofa.
Oh, this is the same
Suddenly,
dude?
the indentation on the backrest of the sofa suddenly puffs out and returns to its normal shape, even though there is nobody there. It's as if someone or something was sitting there and quickly stood up, and the indentation slowly reappears again, as if something sat back down, putting pressure into the backrest. And this strange occurrence was also captured during another moment while the firefighters were talking.
you know what, actually, I knew you did. That, everyone's the very corner of the dark and the light and the wall. There you go. Oh, I think it's all right. All I need is
I don't know what to make of that. That does seem kind of paranormal, unless she's faking it. I mean, you could build something into the back of the couch that would do that. And it seems so subtle that you don't really get the depth, how much it's moving. Straight on, you can tell it's moving, but like you kind of need a side view to know how deep it is or how much it's coming out. So it's hard to say. I mean, it does shift noticeably, so there's a little bit of depth to it. this could be paranormal because I don't really have another explanation for this one. So that could be something. Yeah, that could be paranormal. I don't know.
Right as one of the firefighters shines their light towards the sofa area, you can see something suddenly press into the backrest, as if something is there, and on both occasions it happens right after he shines a light near it, as if something there is reacting to the light. Just like how a strong flash of lightning caused the figure to appear in the first place, so was the figure that firefighter saw on the sofa the same thing Destiny saw in her room that night, and could it have somehow entered as the lightning struck by her house? Like most videos, this one remains a mystery.
Yeah, that was an interesting one. I don't know about the figure in a room. It does appear three-dimensional, but it could be just some after effect from the lightning. And the lightning does some weird stuff. The electrical or the magno-electrical area or aura that it creates could shift and make, you know, it could impress upon cameras. It can do a bunch of weird stuff. So I don't know if you could necessarily call any of that haunted or paranormal. The couch, that one's weird. And the shadow kind of going and blowing out the candle. Well, I mean, it almost seems like there was a gust of wind that caused the candle, both candles in sequence, to kind of go out a little, and that could have caused the shadow. So that one, I don't know if I believe the shadow so much going across, but the couch, that one's very hard to explain. So I think that might be paranormal.
Attached. A single mother lives alone with her children and explains that strange things have been happening inside her home for a while now, and it seems to mostly occur when her children are around. One day, her and her child were in the living room when they captured this.
Oh, that's interesting.
Close the door. Can you close the door, please? What
Ooh.
the fuck?
Oh my, let me ask. Open the door if you need help.
What the? Oh my! It opened it wide as shit. Oh my god!
Close the door if you need help.
I swear to God, I put it on.
Oh my! Why is it doing? What the? Bro, no! Yes, I knew. Yes, I knew. Elgin, please. Elgin, can you please? It's closed all the way, bro.
The door seems to open by itself the moment her kid walks by. Then she asks it to shut the door, and it closes.
So I don't understand the correlation between it having some sort of effect when her kids are around and needing help. Why would it be asking her kids for help? I mean, maybe it's a childlike entity or something like that, and it trusts the kids. I don't know. It just seems weird. But I mean, I would try to ask more questions, like what kind of help do you need? And I really wouldn't want to interact with it, but I wouldn't just ask, do you need help? That would be the first question. But if I was going to try and go further with it, that's the direction I would go. But I more than likely, I would just get a priest and cast this out. Just get it out.
Again, on another night,
That's something that shouldn't be there.
Chilling on her CCTV in her children's bedroom while they are asleep.
Oh, that's creepy.
Closely. You can see both the children sleeping when the controller suddenly falls off the table on its own. But after a closer look, you can see what looks like a strange tiny hand grip onto the cord and pull it. Then her headset moves on its own. At the same time, something presses down on the covers as if there was someone else or something else there. Her only 2 children are fast asleep, so just what is this?
The hand pulling, I mean, maybe that's paranormal. And it does seem to be yanked with some force. I don't know if it's fake or real. The rest of the movement, all of that after it starts to move, all of that can be related to the controller. Because it's almost like a domino effect. One creates the other, so
Mother believes
I don't know.
something may be attached to one of her children, but let me know your thoughts down below.
That was an interesting one. We have some good stuff here, I think, tonight. A lot of stuff that could actually be paranormal. I don't have an explanation for, at least. Most of this stuff generally, I think, is fake, so I don't believe a lot of it. But the first 2, there have been elements in there that are harder to explain. I mean, they definitely could be fake, but maybe that's why Depths of Despair hasn't posted in 3 months, because he was getting the best of the best footage.
Following video, a man has a newborn son, so he sets up a security camera so he can monitor him. One morning, he woke up and noticed a motion alert from the camera.
That was a weird
captured something
picture.
Unsettling.
So I don't know if I should be including blurring these kids or something.
While the baby sleeps,
that's it?
the stuffed bear abruptly moves, where he looks...
Sorry. You can't see what the child's doing. It looks like it's tucked in firmly, but you don't know what's happening underneath that cover. You can't see. And if the child's feet are moving around a little bit, it could cause that movement. So I don't know if I necessarily buy this as paranormal.
Like it doesn't fall naturally and is being pulled by something, as you can see as the whole crib also moves slightly too. Not sure what to make of this, the father grows concerned and continues to monitor his kids, but on another night he
The crib could also move with that movement. If there's movement at all, it's just gonna domino effect. I don't buy any of that extra movement stuff.
Just something else in his other son's room. A strange gust of mist appears out of nowhere and flies across. After these 2 occurrences, the father is starting to believe they are connected and paranormal. And after the next night,
maybe
he's certain of it.
Maybe. This I get the feeling this is the cream of the crop right here. What we're about to see, I'm hoping is paranormal, that it isn't something that is just like, oh, something moved, but, you know, one of the people in the bed moved that could cause it. Door opening. Something falling off. Door opening. Door shutting. That does not seem... I was thinking, well, maybe some draftiness. But the way it starts and stops, it's too sharp. Like it opens, stops. Close, stops. Like something's affecting it. I don't know if it's... I don't know if it's fishing string, like Queso would say, or it definitely could be faked. Totally could be faked in this instance. So I'm not going to say this is paranormal for sure. But the way the movement is, it's definitely not a natural movement. So it's either faked or paranormal. There's no other. That's the long and short of it. Either the guy's got some sort of rig set up to move this and stop it really quickly, or this is paranormal.
Causing the baby to wake up and roll to the side, before eventually the door fully opens and reveals nobody there, before closing again and repeating. He mentions that he planned to move houses and has since stopped uploading, but real ghost or not, you judge.
I mean, the door is really the big evidence there.
A family living in a secluded area by the woods explains they have been hearing.
I will say, there are some really strange, weird sightings and stuff out in the woods, like in the forests and deep areas. So if somebody's living, that's even if it's on the edge, but they are in the forest, like maybe the front of the yard is open to a street that's open, but like as you get to the backyard, that's the forest. And the shenanigans. The shenanigans! Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody, also. There have been so many weird things. Something of that has to be real, right? I would think, out of the thousands of incidences that have happened.
Strange noises outside their house for a few days. Late one night, he hears sounds out by the woods and decides to go check it out.
That tree looks fake. Ooh, some snapping and cracking. The problem is it's frozen, and it does look kind of like a warmer night, so I can hear some stuff melting and dripping, and if that's the case, the ice could be cracking out there and causing those noises.
Wait for it. Listen.
See, I heard.
Trees are just falling left and right.
Doesn't it look like that tree's fake right there? Like the one behind, almost like they just put a sheet over a pine tree. It almost sounds like lightning.
Sounds like a war zone out here. These are the ones that I'm concerned about.
See, I'd almost rather have like a night vision in this instance and not have a flashlight beaming out into the darkness like that. It is weird sounding.
Sounds like trees snapping and exploding on their own can be heard, but as he looks around, he sees nobody there. Not sure what the cause could be, he heads back inside. The very next night, his wife begins to hear more noises, this time right outside her house. Watch closely.
So this is day 3 of the weird, strange occurrences at our house. Right now, this light has been steadily blinking for about 20 minutes. And maybe 10, and
power fluctuations.
I just don't understand why. Okay.
Now it stops.
Okay,
like
now it's like not blinking at all. I guess it's okay.
Okay. Pray to the Most High God. When this stuff is happening, pray. This is the stuff you need to make sure that God is God over the visible and the invisible. We can affect the visible or the real world or the real reality. So we have some influence over that. So sometimes God lets us deal with that. But the paranormal, the stuff we can't see, we absolutely should rely on Him because there's absolutely nothing we can do. I can't touch ethereal or I mean, I can touch the air, and I could swirl it around a little, but there's really not much I can do with it. He can. So when this weird stuff is happening, I'm telling you, pray about it. If she would have prayed about it, that light would have stopped. I believe that light would have stopped immediately.
Okay now. But that and the hearing the voices and stuff sometimes. And
knock, yeah. This is paranormal or demonic, in my opinion.
Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Yeah, the dog doesn't like it. That's not a good sign when your dog's like, hey, human, maybe you shouldn't go out there. Just give me a Scooby snack.
Okay, I'm kind of freaked out. Going back inside the house.
You should be freaked out.
See what I mean, though? This is the stuff I'm talking about. Like, why is this stuff happening?
Oh, buddy.
I'm really thinking about moving away. I think that we should move away.
Move. That was the best part of the video. Sorry, I paused during this. Let's watch this again. I love the scream and the freak out here. She's seeing, or she thinks she's seeing something paranormal.
I'm really thinking about moving away.
But the dog.
Move away. Oh my God!
Whoa, that chair moved a freaking long way. It moved from the dining room table all the way to the kitchen. Yeah, I saw it.
Oh my God!
I think satellites from outer space saw that. This woman should be in a horror movie. The screams are amazing. Like she knows how to scream. Pray. You should have been praying already. That's my heavy recommendation here. Oh man, sorry. I started late and I'm a little tired. I'm definitely gonna end this a little early. We'll try and get Cyberpunk going tomorrow. There's probably going to be a sale on it this weekend, and then I'll miss out on the sale price. But I should check to see. I think they do advertise when they're going to have the next sale. So I'll check into that too. Sidetracked, squirrel, my brain. But the other thing, like, if you pray and this stuff isn't stopping or it's getting worse, just get a bag, get your dog, calmly, coolly, collectively, as much as you can. Get like a little backpack, get just a night or two's worth of clothes, your toothbrush, deodorant, whatever, the main supplies, and get out and go stay at a hotel. Just leave and go. Make sure you lock up your house. You could even leave the video running, and you might catch some other stuff in there. But yeah, it's those things are just massively big. I don't think she's faking it, although the reaction was so over the top. Oh man, she should definitely be in a movie. Like, the screams are just outstanding. I mean, could this be fake? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. They could have some string on the chair, some fishing string. This is low quality video. You'd never, ever see it. You'd never see it. And they could do several takes if you could see it. And same thing with the door. It moves and shuts on its own. But you know there's at least two of them. For some reason, you're not seeing the husband. Weird. Is he at work? I don't know what's going on. That's not really explained. But those two things are either fake or paranormal. We got some good videos tonight from Depths of Despair. I hate that he waited 3 months, but if this is the quality of stuff we're going to get, I can wait a little bit longer.
3 knocks are heard at the door. Then, as she goes to open it, her dog can be heard whimpering as she goes out.
Time to go.
When she comes back in, her dog starts whimpering even more, and a chair suddenly slides aggressively across the room before she turns around and screams in fear, noticing the door is now opening and closing repeatedly, all on its own. With things
I thought that was a spring.
She says they have no choice but to move out. If you have any video recommendations, you can send them over.
I did. Thumbs up. Does he have the ghost? He doesn't have the ghost. So I don't know how they do the ghost thing, but that's really cool when they have that. So make sure you're liking this video and his video, and subscribing to both of us and getting that content. Well, I hope you're enjoying the content anyway. I enjoyed that last video immensely. I don't even care if that's paranormal or not. Just having her have that massive reaction was amazing. I really enjoyed that one.
The following video was taken from a worker in a courthouse.
This reminds me, like, Ghostbusters 2, where, you know, the Ghostbusters are on trial in a New York City courtroom, and the judge is just this really angry kind of guy. And that's when they realize the slime is reacting to anger and multiplying the slime. And, like, he gets so angry, the slime actually goes into critical mass and explodes into two ghosts. And he recognizes the ghosts. He's like, those are the Zaglari brothers. I gave them the chair back in, 84 or whatever it was. Good times. Days are gone forever.
Somewhere in the USA, the person was inspecting the courthouse with some equipment, including a metal detector and a thermal camera. He has been over at the courthouse for a few days. And
looks like a nice courthouse.
They say strange things sometimes happen in the place.
He's got better music this time around too.
During his time at the courthouse,
I really am enjoying it.
Something strange on the thermal camera that he just can't seem to explain. Take a look.
It does look like a dude looking in. And there's nothing there. Yeah, I see that. It's warm. That's the interesting part. Looks like it's waving and... Yeah, I don't know. It looks like a person's there, and there's not.
The heat signature can be seen coming out of the door, even though nobody is there.
Oh.
These thermal cameras can't
I had Taco Bell all night.
You can
Heartburn.
also see he is recording from his phone at the same angle as the thermal camera, so if it were just a reflection, it would likely show up on his camera too. But it's only seen on the thermal camera, and at some point it even waves, which doesn't match the movements of the person recording, so it's likely not his own reflection. After speaking with the courthouse workers, they believe it is the spirit of a woman who was convicted and sentenced to death in this very courthouse, now bound to the place with lingering regrets. But as always, I'll let you be the judge.
Well, if she was sentenced to death and is lingering there, probably wrongfully prosecuted and executed, unfortunately. She was probably innocent, and she's trying to communicate that, like, hey, I wasn't guilty of this. Weird and unfortunate, and that happens a lot in our justice system. We don't get it right as often as we'd like. We'd like 100% right. The guilty person always pays for their crimes. That's what we want. But this human knowledge and experience and understanding doesn't always allow that. So sometimes you end up with bad outcomes, and good people sometimes pay the price. And then the result is something like this. Bonus!
Parking.
She looks drunk.
Late one night, a woman named Tammy was arriving
No, I'm just kidding.
in her driveway, and right after getting out of her car, she noticed something chilling across the road, something she just couldn't explain. The encounter was captured on her CCTV camera.
Okay, this is when you go into, in my opinion, this is when you go into that survival mode. You have to think about, you have that, generally, you have a button that locks the car. So you have to make a call about right now, just about this time. Whatever weirdness is happening across the street that we can't quite see, that we'll probably be able to see here in a little bit, you need to think about whether it's just going to be easier to get back in that car and lock the doors and try and stay safe in the car, or run inside and lock the doors if you can make it there. So just standing around and looking, that should be the thought process going on right now. Okay, there's something weird going on. Do I get back in the car? Do I go inside? What do I do? What's the best course of action right now? Of course, probably the inside is safer. The doors are a little bit more sturdy. Although the car is metal, the windows are glass. But that's true of both locations. But the house is bigger, and you probably have more locked doors, bathroom doors, stuff like that you can put between you and whatever's going on. You might even have a basement or even a safe room. So a lot of houses have safe rooms that can be activated. So you might go into that you just have to plan stuff out when you get into these types of situations. Be thinking ahead, like, what's my next move? What am I going to do if this happens? Because I'm already thinking, like, whatever's happening across the street, what if it just rushes at her? I don't know. Oh, we get the full image. Oh. What the heck? What the hell is that? Yeah, see, that's exactly, that was the move, right? Something weird's happening across the street. I actually did think that the angle that it's at when it first went over there and the first time it looked, she started walking away, I thought for sure it was going to really start moving at her. And this, whatever it is, started moving really fast from this. It looks like in between, or there's a park there. It started moving kind of fast across the grass. And looking at it, I thought there was a street or something there. No, it comes like in between the neighbor's house and whatever the little gazebo or structure is with the roof. Like, it moves across, and it moves weirdly. Because at one point, I thought it was a person, and then as it moved across, I was like, is that a dog? And then I heard the dog barking. I'm like, oh, maybe it's a dog. And then it gets over there, and it stands up, and it looks human again. So I'm not sure what is happening here. This is very strange. I hope it would get close enough you could make it out. That's not her saying hello. It's whatever that is saying hello. That looks like a cat almost, or oh man, it looks like it was shape shifting in between. That is some weird video. That is some weird video. Now again, edited, fake, I don't know. But then when it's all said and done, it looks like a person walking out. Oh, no. And then moves to a almost a monkey-like thing. That is weird.
Catches Tammy's attention.
That is a flashlight for sure. Whatever this thing is, it's using a flashlight. And it says hello to her. I think that the thing said hello to her. I don't think she said hello to it. So that's altogether, this is just some strange video. I don't know what this is.
After standing there watching it, she realizes the light wasn't moving on its own, but was actually attached to a dark figure moving on all fours, before standing upright and looking around the area. A few seconds later, it walks down the sidewalk, then slightly distorts before crawling on all fours again, and moving out of frame. Tammy has no idea what she saw, but mentions that it didn't look human, creepy person, or something else entirely. Either way, it's
that is weird.
Unsettling to see.
Yeah. I don't disagree. I don't know how you fake that one. In like the reality of the situation, I don't know how you would fake it so that the woman that is taking the video or has the security footage and is parking there, if she's not part of it, I don't know how you fake that. If she's part of it, could be edited footage. I'm not sure. Of course, it could all be AI. You never know with any of these videos anymore. That's it for Depths of Despair. I'm going to quit the screen capture. We are at a little bit of a later time anyway. I don't know if anybody's out there. Type 1 if you're out there. Otherwise, when you're watching this on the VOD, make sure that you leave a comment and tell me what you thought of the videos. And be sure to subscribe, like, share, all those things. You know what to do. I will, actually, while I got you on here, let me check out Steam and Cyberpunk to see how much that is. So I might go ahead and buy it and see what I can do here. Yeah. Let's see what else there is. So maybe I'll. What is this? So yeah, I don't know now. I don't know. I just saw baseball, out of the park baseball game for 2027. I think it just dropped. So did the league, MLB the League 2027. That one is almost $90. That's pretty dang expensive. But out of the park baseball, I was thinking about getting something like that because I always wanted to out owner the Rockies, and now the Rockies did something extremely smart, and after 30 years of ownership, of bad ownership, and not so much to say anything bad, truly bad about the first owner, but the Monsfords who bought it can't run their way out of a paper bag. To be fully honest, but they did something smart. They got the guy from Moneyball that uses that analytics and that analytical mind to really figure out how to build winning situations. Although he was at the Browns, the Cleveland Browns, for the last decade, and I think he improved them, but it didn't work quite as well for the football scenarios as it has for the baseball. So he is now on the Rockies, and he's making those moves that I thought the Rockies should do, like ground ball pitching instead of strikeout pitching. You're going to get a lot more of that at Coors Field at altitude. So the pitching should improve in that there should be a lot more fielding and a lot more ground outs. The games will be quicker because of that, and pitchers will last longer just because they won't be out there near as long and throwing as many pitches. So should be an interesting season. Now, I don't expect them coming off the 53 win season that they had last year. I don't expect them to improve into a winning ball club, but I do expect to see 70 wins is my goal for the Rockies. If they don't do that, I'm going to root for them, but I'm going to give up. Anyway, let me take a look here. I'm going to take a quick look. Let me search for Cyberpunk. And then I do see well, there's a bunch of Cyberpunk games. How about Cyberpunk 2077? See if we can. Really? There we go. They have a remod in Cyberpunk. Can we just go to the game view page, please? Oh. Let me pause that. It's going to show video, but it looks like there might be some nudity and stuff with that one. I'm going to have to download and tinker with the game before I take it live, because if they have a streamer setting, definitely want to enable that in the anti-nudity stuff. And then if there's a streamer setting for the music as well, we're going to want to do that. It does look like a first-person shooter, though. Man, this looks... Yeah, I think we're going to do this one. I was hesitant to do it because it's $60. I really am just not sure about it. But I think it might be okay. Yeah, it might be okay. Looks good. And I remember how glitchy this was when it first came out. And I thought, man, this would be a great game to get and play. But then it came out and it was so hyper glitchy, and like for a year I was still hearing about glitches, and problems with the game. So, dang, it has so many videos and trailers with it. There are literally like 12 of them. But I think this is it. I think this is what 5-year anniversary, huh? So it came out in 2021. Still more recent of a game than Destiny 2. So might get it, try it out, and see if we have a hit here with this too. See if people like watching that. Might just browse for some free demos as well. Slay the Spire 2, I hear, is really popular, really good. Might get it to try it out. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what everybody thinks about things. Crimson Desert looks like it's going to come out soon, very soon. And it looks like it might promise on everything that it is claiming. So it might be worth it. Now that we're done with Resident Evil Requiem. So I'll just take a look through maybe some of the demos, see if I like anything in there too. And then we'll get to playing that. That's all I got for you guys for tonight. Thank you for joining me on Glowing Card Television. That's what I'm going to try and call it moving forward when we just do some debunking or watching videos, something like that. Having a quicker, friendlier stream tonight. A little shorter. I hope you all enjoyed it. And I enjoyed that woman screaming in that one video. I can't say I wouldn't have been as freaked out. Like, if I'm in the same situation, and I know we're not faking it. I don't have any fishing string tied to the chair or the doors, I don't think I would scream like that, but I might yell at things and people, and I'd try not to cuss, but I'd be praying about it, and having a bug out bag, and I could see why they moved, because that was a lot of activity. The problem is you got to think about here, just real quick. One last thing, and then I'll end the video. In a situation like that, you have to think about, if you've lived in a house, let's say, a long time, 10 years or so, you've had no activity in the house during that time. And then you start having stuff like that happen after 10 years. Odds are it's not the house. Odds are it's not you. Odds are it's something you've recently purchased or brought into the house. So the weird stuff, if you have any weird masks or dolls or Ouija boards or anything, mirrors, there's a lot of different things that can trigger those things. I watched a video recently of Padre Pio. He's a Spanish monk who had the stigmata on his hands and his feet. I don't know if he had the gash on his side or not. Had the full stigmata where, crown of thorns. I've heard of people having the full stigmata where their skull bleeds, their hands bleed, they have the stitch on their side, on their feet as well. But Padre Pio only had it on his hands, I think. But he had visions and was communicating with angels and was really in touch with God. And God was giving him a lot of visions to communicate things that he needed to with us. But one of the times, Padre Pio was directed to go to a apartment I think he was in Spain. So he went to one of the apartments in a town that was close. And this woman and her husband had been starting to experience paranormal activity. And she prayed the rosary every day. She was devout. He didn't really have that I mean, he had a little bit of faith. They'd go on Sunday to church, but beyond that, not much was there. And then Padre Pio said they had, I think, 3 items, if I remember right. She had just recently purchased a mirror, and the mirror somewhere in the past had been used by a witch to, she had drawn summoning and enchantments, and that lasted with the mirror. And Padre Pio said that mirror had to go to the church, and they had to burn it, and they had to have specific ceremonies to pray over it. And then there was a ring that I think her grandmother had, but she went to a gypsy once and didn't tell anybody, and had the ring, something blessed by the gypsy, or the gypsy did something to it, and it always had something. And I think they had to somehow destroy that, or no, they buried it and consecrated in the cemetery, in a Catholic cemetery where the ground's consecrated, so it trapped whatever was there, holding on to the ring. And then there was a wood horse that had been carved for pagan rituals and stuff, which they just were able to burn and destroy. So those 3 items were in the house and left. So if you live somewhere for a long time and nothing's been happening, and then you bought something, you know, along those lines of some of the stuff I've described, it could really be anything. But if you get weird feelings about an item, or, you know, you just are creeped out by it all of a sudden, probably need to consult the church or get rid of it. Now the church doesn't recommend to get rid of it, because if you sell it, the problem just goes to somebody else, and you're pushing that problem onto somebody else, and that's not good either. The object is supposed to be destroyed or taken care of in some way. It's a permanent fix for it. But if they had only lived there 6 months, noticed a few things at first, and then slowly throughout that 6 months has been escalating until they got to the point where she was screaming in that video, yeah, probably time to move. That house is they probably need to get a priest in there. One of the tenants along the way should do that. So that's my other comment on the video tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I did. And that's all I got. If you have comments, leave them below. Again, like, share, subscribe, especially the sharing and the subscribing. I'll see you all tomorrow night. We'll play something tomorrow night. I'll be on hopefully a little earlier, and we'll get it done. All right. Until then, be good to each other. I'll see you later on Glowing Card Television.